Evening guys, welcome along to round 5 of the Ultimate Racing League Super Formula Series. We are here at Barcelona, Circuit de Catalunya in Spain. After qualifying, here is how the grid stands. We've got Brian Mancani is on pole. We've got Pickle in 2nd place, Toten is there in 3rd place, Mawson is in 4th, Palmer is in 5th, Wayne G is there in 6th, Vexed is in 7th, Dan Bailey is 8th, Ansbo 9th, Smokey Tom is in 10th, Graham Ali in 11th, and Smurf in 12th. So we are missing a couple of guys this week, but I'm sure they'll be back next week, and I think we may even have a slot or two for one of the new guys to join in next week, which will be at, I think it's Nürburgring next week. I think it's down to Suzuka, but I think it should have been Nürburgring, but we'll get there when we get there anyway. This is round 5, as I say. Without further ado, we'll get into it. They are off. Lightoten getting quite a good start there. I'm not sure he's come past Pickle just yet. In fact, no, I think he has. I think he's managed to get the run ahead of Pickle. We've got Moulton forming up behind Pickle. We've also got Palmer there in the mix, and Vexed as well, and Wayne G. Pickle actually managing to go around the outside of Palmer there. It looked like, I think Moulton's managed to get a move done as well. He's coming through. So Moulton's slipping up the inside. Vex trying to make his way through as well. And Palmer, he's made a mistake. Vex has managed to go through. So Vex moving up to 5th place. We've got Wayne G behind him in 6th. Dan Bailey's managed to get into 7th. We've got Asbo there in 8th. Smurf 9th. Graham Harley 10th. And Smokey Tom 11th. And Palmer, I'm not sure what happened to Palmer there. He got a really slow start, didn't he? He's right away off the back of the pack. Maybe he had a false start, I'm not too sure. Or it might have been an instant in the first couple of turns. Looked a little bit out of shape then, but... So Brian Mancani, he's starting to try and extend that lead already. He's doing quite well so far, isn't he? Toten's not too far behind him, but I think the closest battle at the moment is between Pickle and Mawson, or Pickle, Mawson and Toten. Mawson looking a lot more comfortable this week. Obviously, he had the issue last week, didn't he, with the pit crew. They managed to shear one of his nuts off, and he went in with his tail between his legs. Pickle, he's managed to pick up a 0.5 second penalty, so I think he's going to try and stay with Mawson, but this may slow his momentum slightly. I think Wayne G actually managing to get the move done on Vex. Vex is trying to stay with him. He's not too far behind him, he's still in the slipstream, but Wayne G actually opting for the mediums in the first stint. I think Vexter's on the softs. We'll have a look in just a second. Yeah, so Vexter's on the softs. Maybe he's just not finding his rhythm just yet. We are only on lap 2. It's a 50-minute race, this one, as are all the Super Formula Series, apart from the sprint races, obviously, when we have the sprint race for qualifying, which is, there's another 2 sprint races before the end of the season. Obviously 3 weeks to go now. Oh, Asbo looking like he was going to go for the move there on Dan Bailey. He closed right up to him, didn't he? He still is right all over the back of him. Oh, I think he has. I think he's managed to get it past Dan Bailey. Yeah, he slots in nicely. Asbo on the racing softs. I think Dan Bailey's going for the harder compound. Yeah, he's on the mediums. Danny Bailey staying with him though. He's all over the back of him at the moment. But that was a great move there from Asbo. Asbo's definitely, he's come on leaps and bounds, hasn't he? Definitely looks a lot more confident in the Super Formulas. Graham Ali's moved up to 9th. currently. Smoky Tom currently in 10th. Palmer, he's moved up to 11th. Trying to chase Smoky Tom down as Smurf. Smurf must have had an incident, I think. All the way down in 12th place. He's a little way off the back of the pack. You can still see the guys, so hopefully he'll be able to get onto the back of one of them and be able to make some more places up. Brian Moncani still extending that lead. Look at the gap he's got now. Actually with the fastest lap so far of a 126.2. And as he comes into turn 1, it looks like Mawson's only just crossed the start-finish line. At the moment, this is somewhat reminiscent of what Max Verstappen managed to do in round 1 of this year's Formula 1. Managing to put it on pole at Bahrain and pulled out a massive lead. And that's what Brian's doing right now. Mawson actually managing to get past Toten as well, so Toten was in 2nd place, wasn't he? Mawson's managed to find his legs, he's managed to get past him. I think they've definitely got their mechanical issues with that Mercedes ironed out now. This could shake things up coming into the final rounds of the series. I'm sure Toten is going to be doing his utmost to try and retake that position, maximise on the points in this round. Mawson actually starting to pull out a bit of a gap now on Toten, so he's just done a 127.129 or 179. In fact, Toten did a 127.144, so slightly faster than Mawson through that last lap, but as you can see, the gap has started forming. In fact, Toten looking like he's used a bit more of the tyres than Wayne already, so be interesting to see if Toten pits before Mawson does, or if he tries to run them tyres for as long as he can, as we have seen Brian and Toten have been very good at running on very worn tyres. But Pickle actually starting to close up onto the back of Toten now. Toten might be in trouble of losing that 3rd place to Pickle. Pickle closing right up through that hard braking zone there. Toten seemingly having the better traction through coming out of the turns. Toten still maintaining a healthy gap though to Pickle. Pickle does seem to be closing up though, doesn't he, in the braking zone, so both on the soft compound. Then we've got Vex. Vex has actually managed to get back past Wayne G. We must have missed that one, I'm not sure where it came, but he's definitely back past him, isn't he? I think Wayne G on the harder compound at the moment. He's going to be trying to overcut the guys ahead of him. So Wayne G actually put in the fastest sector there. Only lap 6, 10 minutes into this race nearly. Probably around the 36 lap mark, I think, in the 50 minutes that these guys have. Give or take a lap or two. Dan Bailey, he's still with Asbo, isn't he? I think he's still within slipstream range, but the gap is starting to form a little bit. Asbo was right all over the back of him, wasn't he? He managed to get the moved on down the start, finish straight into turn 1 and trying to extend that gap now. Managing to stay ahead of Dan Bailey nicely though. Is Dan Bailey going to have to run down here? We can see the light flashing on the back of Asbo's car. That means he's using his overtake. ERS. Although obviously with these super formulas it doesn't regenerate over the lap. So once it's gone, it's gone. Oh, Asbo looking a little bit out of shape. I think he's going to lose that play. Yeah, Dan Bailey getting through easily. He ran a little bit wide than Asbo. There's a little bit of a mistake there and losing out on that place. 7th place to Dan Bailey. I think Danny's going to start trying to extend that gap now. Although Asbo is still on the faster compound. Looks like he's trying to come back now. He's looking for the move. And meanwhile, Palmer's creeping up at the background as well. So Palmer managed to make his way through to 9th. Oh, Danny Bailey with a mistake there. Asbo's got back through. Is Palmer going to get through as well? I'm not sure. Trying to go around the long way round. Danny Bailey's holding that position for a minute, but Palmer, he is looking for that way through, isn't he? Oh, as it goes across the sausage there, that's going to cost him, I think. Palmer's going to get through. Asbo getting through there nicely. Yeah, Palmer's got through. So Danny Bailey dropping to 9th place. Smoky Tom, 10th. Graham trying to chase him down in 11th. Smoky Tom, he's opted for the mediums in the first stint. Graham on fairly worn softs now. Smurf, he's on the mediums. A little bit of a gap now to the rest of the field, but he's trying his utmost, isn't he, to get onto the back of him again. Oh, picking up a slight penalty there though. It's not going to help him too much. Brian Mulcarney running a little bit wide for that last turn. I think he'll be alright there though. Yeah, they've not given him a penalty, so he was obviously well within the track limits. Just see Mawson coming around that turn there. Just coming down the start-finish straight. Brian's just about to enter turn 1. So quite a big gap forming now between Brian and Mawson, but there's also an even bigger gap, well, just as big a gap to from Mawson to Toten. Toten, he's managed to stretch his legs a little bit and get a bit of breathing space now to Pickle. Pickle's still doing very well though, he's still in 4th place at the moment. I think all the front runners so far on softs. Yeah, the top five all on softs. Wayne G, the first of the mediums. So he is surely going to move up some places when the guys on the softs pit to change tyre. Oh, Vex with a big look up there. I wonder if that's going to let Wayne G get on him. He managed to close up quite a bit there, didn't he? So Wayne G, he might be able to get back past Vexed before he serves his pit. Coming up to the end of lap 9. Oh, and I think Vex the first of the pit. So yeah, Vex diving into the pits. He's going to get rid of that soft compound. Wayne G moving through to 5th place. Asbo still ahead of Palmer at this point. He's still in 7th place. He's going to move up to 6th. Palmer moving through to 7th. Danny Bailey not far off him. He's there in the background, isn't he, in 8th place. But Palmer looking like he's on a bit of a charge. He's come from the back all the way to 7th. trying to look for the move on Asbo now as well. Oh, and he has. Asbo's made another mistake. He's gone a bit wide. Let's let Palmer go through again. I think that was the same place that Dan Bailey managed to get through on him before. So I think Asbo maybe outbraking himself a little bit into that last turn and running it a little bit wide, which is giving Palmer the momentum to get past him. He's still trying to chase him down though, isn't he, as Asbo? As Palmer goes a little bit deep, he's managed to stay ahead still though. Maybe these guys' tyres starting to come to the end of their life now. Asbo staying out though. Still trying to chase Palmer down. Hard on the ERS. I think he's conscious that he's got Dan Bailey behind him as well. Not too far behind him. Down on the mediums. So everyone's sort of fairly spaced out now. It's become a little bit of a procession. Smoky Tom currently in 9th. I think there's a little battle forming behind between Vext and Smurf. Oh, Vext actually managed to get past Smurf now. Graham Harley dropping to 12th. Smurf's there in 11th still. So Vext, he's taking on a fresh set of mediums. Trying to make his way back through the pack now. Obviously some of the other guys still out on softs. So he should make up a few positions. But Smurf, he's still in it, isn't he? He's kept his head down. He's managed to move up to 11th place currently. Graham, he's pitted for a fresh set of softs, fresh set of mediums, sorry. Was on the softs before, wasn't he? A little bit of a twitch there for that last turn. On again. Don't want to run the curbs too much in these cars. There is some that you can get away with it, but some of them, they make the car quite unsettled. Just over 17 minutes into this race now. Lap 11. Well, lap 11 for Graham anyway. I think Brian's going to be... Oh, he's actually on lap 12, so he's going to be coming up to start lap 13. And he's made them tyres last quite a long time already, hasn't he? Be interesting to see when he pits. That lap was a 1:27. He's been doing fairly consistent 1:26s. I can see a few 1:27s and 1:28, so maybe trying to conserve the tyres slightly on them laps. Mawson's still out on the softs as well. He's in 2nd place currently. Bit of a gap now between him and Brian though, isn't there? Oh, as we see Pickle's dived into the pits now, so he's going to be getting rid of that soft compound. Be interesting to see what tyre compound he chooses to go on to next. Oh, and Toten, look at Toten. Toten's still in 3rd place. He's got a bit of a gap now, hasn't he? Pickle was chasing him down. Now Wendy G's behind him. Well, not too far off him anyway. But look at Toten's tyres. His lefts are completely gone. He's just running on the right-hand tyres now. I'm sure we're going to... start seeing some of the front runners pit soon. Although I'm sure Toten, as he has done in the previous rounds, will probably try and get the maximum out of them tyres, as he is doing so far. And it's pretty close as well at the top between... Oh, here he is. He's going into the pit. So Wayne G, he's going to take up that third position. So Toten going for the undercut on Brian. I think Brian is going to answer. I think he'll pit this lap, or the lap that he's on. I think we'll definitely see Molson probably pit as well. So Wayne G, he's moved up to third place. He went for the mediums to start with and managing to get the overcut so far, but he is going to have to pit at some point. Having a decent race though so far, hasn't he, Wayne G? Too fast for yous. Toten, he's actually coming back out on the mediums. Palmer, he's moved through to fourth place. Still being chased down by Dan Bailey though. Dan Bailey's in fifth currently. What happened to Asbo? I'm not sure where Asbo is. I don't know if he's pitted or if he had a bit of a moment. Smoky Tom, he's moved through to sixth place. It's Graham just up ahead, so Smoky Tom coming up to lap Graham. Oh, Smoky Tom for a big moment though. Nearly losing the rear of that Super Formula. That was a good recovery though, good save there from Tom. As we see him enter the pits as well, so he'll be getting rid of them mediums. So Vexed, currently in seventh. He is going to move up to sixth though. I think he will definitely move past Tom. And he does. Toten also moves through. You can see him just in the background there. He's not too far off the back of Vex though, so I think a battle might form between these two in the coming few laps. Smoky Tom still currently in the pits. Smurf has gone into the pits. Pickle, he's taken on the hards. Currently in 10th place. He's going to move through to 8th though, I think. Unless Tom comes out. Yeah, he has. He's moved through. So I think Smoky Tom will come out between... Oh, he's nearly coming out to race. Yeah, he's going to come out behind Pickle, but just ahead of Asbo. There's Asbo, there's Asbo. He's on the mediums now. Full tank of fuel. Graham not far behind him though. In 12th place. Smurf actually coming out ahead of him as well. So Smurf currently 10th place. And he's a little way up the road, isn't he? So yeah, Smurf, he's on the hards now. I think he'll probably be trying to take these to the end of the race. In fact, I don't think he's used... I think he went mediums, didn't he? I think he used mediums first, so... Yeah, I don't think he's used a soft. I think he's still got a softs he can use. Smoky Tom. Smoky Tom. Is he getting blue flagged? Who's he getting blue flagged by? I can't see anyone too close to him to be throwing that blue flag up, so... Not sure what that's all about, but he's trying to chase down Pickle now. He was in 8th place. Molson, he's gone into the pits. Currently 2nd. I think he must have lapped them guys, otherwise they'd have moved up position. So Toten currently 7th. He's using his ERS now to try and get onto the back of Vexed. Vex looking like he went a little bit deep there. So we have Mawson dropping down now to 5th place as he pits. I think he'll be coming out ahead of Vexed and Toten though. I don't think he's got to worry about that, although they are coming up to the start-finish line now. Vex looked a little bit out of shape, didn't he, for that last chicane? And Wayne G, yes, Mawson and Wayne G actually managing to come out ahead of Vexed and Toten. Vexed has run them tyres for quite a few laps longer than Toten has, so I imagine Toten will have the pace advantage. As I say, I think we're going to see Toten make the move on Vex. I think there'll be a little bit of a battle coming soon. Wayne G, he's now taking on the softs. He's going to be trying to chase down Mawson. Mawson has got a nice bit of breathing space though. As Brian McCartney, he's in the pits now, so he'll be getting rid of them softs. Be interesting to see how... Dan's on quite warm mediums, isn't he? Be interesting to see when he pits. Palmer, he's also on mediums. He's stayed out for the minute. Dan Bailey not opting for the undercut, he's opted for track position. Brian McCartney dropped to 3rd momentarily. He has used quite a lot of them tyres as well, hasn't he? The rears are nearly gone. He's held on to the fronts quite well though. So Palmer, he's moved up to 1st place. He is going to have to pit though. Currently managing to overcut Brian McCartney though. And Dan Bailey as well. Dan Bailey still on the back of Palmer. Definitely looking like the mediums may have been the compound to go for in the first stint around here, around Barcelona. Brian McCartney, he's there in 3rd place. He's pitted now, he's got rid of them softs, he's taking on a full tank of fuel. And he's trying to get the work done. Oh, Asbo in the background there, kicking up a bit of dust. Looking like he was having a bit of a moment. So we've got Mawson, he's in 4th place. He's being chased down by Smurf. In fact, I think he's just lapped Smurf, Graham and Asbo. He's now on the mediums. Wayne G, I think Wayne G, he might end up getting caught up in traffic. And he is, he's just behind Graham there. You can see Graham, Asbo and Smurf just up ahead of him. Graham moving over to try and let Wayne G through, but Wayne G, he wants his slipstream, so making the use of Graham's slipstream there. He's got past him. He's now just got to get past Asbo and... It was Smurf, wasn't it? Asbo and Smurf. Smurf having a great race here at the moment, still currently in 10th place. Vexed, he's currently in 6th, still being chased down by Toten. So not having too bad a race so far as Vexed. I think he pitted slightly early though. I think he should have tried to run them softs for a bit longer than he did. I think he's going to pick up a penalty there as well. But he's got away with it. They're obviously quite lenient with the track limits around that turn. We saw him run across the curb. Toten. He started closing that gap up, hasn't he? It looked like Vex kicking up a bit of dust there, having a bit of a moment. Still ahead currently though. Vex moving over to try and break the toe. I don't think it's going to work there. I think Toten is well there now as they both move past Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey dropped in the seventh place currently. I'm not sure if Pickle will get through as well. We see a bit of a puff of smoke there from Vex. I'm not sure if he was locking brakes up, locking the wheel up under braking, or perhaps spinning one of the wheels up. Oh, Smurf with a moment there. He had to stay off the track, didn't he? Otherwise he would have collected Vex and Toten. Toten and Vex still having a bit of a battle. Vex still trying to stay ahead of Toten, but Gabby is all over him now. Oh, big moment up ahead from Vex. He did well to hold on to that. Oh, Gabby nearly getting the move done there. He closed right up, didn't he? I think he's going to get him down the start finish straight for sure. On the ERS, nice and early. Vex trying to make the most of Graham's slip up ahead. I think Graham moving over to the inside to let these two through. Gabor looking for the move into turn one, but not quite managing to get it done. He's going to have the advantage here though. He's trying to go the long way round. Vex defending nicely. He's covering that inside. Both moving up a place as Palmer serves his pit. So I think this is the closest battle. Oh, Vex with a massive lock up again. Toten's waiting for him to make a mistake. He's doing well though at the moment, isn't he, Vex? He's managing to stay ahead. I'm not sure if he's got any overtake left. He hasn't. He's used it all up. You can see Gabor filling his mirrors. Look at that Jaguar. Still all over the back of him. We saw how good he was through here, through this final sector. Closing right up. Oh, I think there was a bit of a touch there, but Gabor's backed out. So well held there from Vex, but Gabor has got the run now. He's managed to get past easily. Vex dropping down to 5th place. He's going to have an answer. I don't think he is. It looks like Toten, he's managing to stretch his legs somewhat now. He's definitely got the momentum, hasn't he, from them last couple of turns. Yeah, it was a great pass there from Toten. He started to pull away as well. Not really a lot Vex can do at the moment to stay with him. And I think Palmer is starting to catch as well in the background. In fact, no, Palmer is a couple of turns behind. Vex still trying to stay with Toten, but I think Toten's managed to pull away now. Vex definitely isn't going to be picking up the slip. Palmer's been on a bit of a charge though, hasn't he, in this race? He was leading the race momentarily. Currently in 6th place. Just under 20 minutes left of this race. Lap 22. Well, Palmer will be coming up to start lap 23 as he comes around his final sector. Smurf. Not sure if Smurf had a moment there, if he was going into the pits. I think he was going into the pits. Danny Bailey, currently 7th place. He's on the racing softs. I think he's going to be trying to use the most of them softs and catch up to Palmer. Got a little bit of work to do though. There's a bit of a gap there. Guy's also having a nice tailwind coming down the start-finish straight, so... Nearly up to 180 there for Pickle as he come into turn 1. He's trying to chase Dan Bailey down. Bit of a gap there though as well, so everybody a little bit spread out at the moment. Smoker Tom 9th. He's got a slight penalty there. Asbo currently 10th. So everyone a little bit spread out currently as we're getting shown the blue flag, but I don't think he's actually causing any issues at the moment. They do seem to do that a little bit prematurely in GT Sport, as we see someone peel into the pits there. Graham currently on the mediums. Smurf, he's on them racing hard. Yeah, he got over there, didn't he, for Dan Bailey. Currently 12th place for Smurf. Coming up the start, lap 23. Here's your race leader, Brian Mancani. He's on his second stint now, still got a nice gap. He's not really got to worry about defending. Brian Mancani absolutely dominating this one so far. He's just putting the fastest lap of 125.4. Don't think anybody coming close to that just yet. Oh, Wayne G managing to get a move done on Mawson. Mawson's still with him. We must have just missed that one. In fact, I say that, Wayne G, he's actually had a couple of 125s. His fastest being a 125.5. So only 100th off of Brian's fastest time. Wayne G starting to try and pull away from Mawson now. Mawson's on the mediums. They're not quite as used as the softs of Wayne G. You see there the graphic on the bottom left. Yeah, started to put away a little bit, hasn't he? Mawson trying to stick with him though. He's using his ERS, his overtake, to try and stay within the slipstream range. Toten, he's up to 4th. He was having a bit of a battle with Vex, wasn't he? In fact, Vex was behind him. So what happened to Vex? I'm not sure. I don't know if Vex has pitted again. He might be going for a 2-stop strategy. I think some of the guys this week did end up using all sets of tyres. Palmer up to 5th place. He's currently on the softs. 12 minutes left of this race. He might be able to make him last. If not, he'll be going for 2-stop as well. Dan Bailey, I think Dan Bailey's used a little bit more, hasn't he? But he might have, I think he pitted just before Palmer, trying to get the undercut. Doing alright though, isn't he, at the moment? Dan Bailey, he's up to 6th place, so he might be able to pick up a few more positions before the end of the race. Pickle, he went for the hards. currently up to 7th. Oh, having a bit of a moment there though. I don't think Vexter's close enough to be a problem at the moment, but that is the next person behind him. I'm checking with him just now. Yeah, so Vext, he did. It looks like he's pitted for the hards. So on a 2-stop strategy this week. Obviously Barcelona, seemingly one of the tracks that are a bit harder on the tyres. Smoky Tom. He's a little way off the back of Vext. Currently in 9th place. Asbo's 10th. Currently on the mediums. Smurf's just entered the pits, currently 11th. Graham, he's going to move up to 11th as Smurf pits. Mawson not far off the back of him though. Oh, Smurf's come out though. Smurf has come out. He's come out ahead of Graham. So it might be a little bit of a battle here falling between these two. They have both got Mawson behind them though, so still not close enough to be causing an issue at the moment. They're not going to be slowing Mawson down, so only having to move over when necessary. As I say, the blue flags in GT7 quite premature. But it can also be a little bit off-putting. Oh, as Graham has a moment, he's gone onto the gravel. He's going to have lost Smurf up ahead of him. That's unlucky. So Brian Carney now lapping Vext. Vext trying to stay with him. I think he's going to try and use the toe of Brian to get onto the rest of the pack. Try and get onto the back of Pickle. I think he's lost it already though. Yeah, he has. He's definitely way out of slipstream range now as Vext. Brian Moncani on an absolute charge. Mawson only just crossing the start-finish line. Brian Moncani's way around turn 1 now. He's into turn 3. Just about to come under the bridge into turn 4. Mawson just starting turn 3. He's now approaching the bridge to turn 4. Smurf ahead of him. He's got a nice gap now as Mawson to Palmer. Wayne G's obviously going for a 2-stop. He's come back out and he's behind Toten now. He was up to 3rd place. In fact, no, he was up to 2nd, wasn't he? He'd managed to pass Mawson, so perhaps using a bit more of the tyres than he would have liked. But Palmer having a bit of a great race, isn't he? Up to 3rd place, lap 29. He's going to have to make them softs last for another 9 minutes though. And he's nearly halfway on all 4 tyres, all 4 corners. Although Toten, he's on some really warm mediums now. He's in 4th place currently, but I think he's a little way off the back of... Oh no, he's not too far behind Palmer actually, so Toten, Gabor, he might be trying to get onto the back of Palmer, try and take that 3rd position away. But Palmer is on some younger, softer compound, so I'm sure he's going to be trying his utmost to keep that 3rd position. We'll have a quick rundown. So your top 3 currently, your top 3 are Brian Carney, Mawson and Palmer. Then we've got Toten in 4th place. Wayne G, he's currently in 5th. Dan Bailey, he's in 6th. Pickle's in 7th. Vext is in 8th. It looks like Vext is actually starting to catch up to the back of Pickle now. I think that's him we just saw just ahead of Vext. Smoke Tom 9th. Asbo 10th. Smurf, he's in 11th. And I think we've had a retirement, so I think Graham, I think he's had some mechanical issues. He's had to retire the car. I'm sure the mechanics will be working overtime to get it ready for next week. Well, tomorrow. Because tomorrow is the next round. Tomorrow night. Brian Moncani, he's not put a foot wrong, has he, during this race? Still currently in 1st place. He's had an absolute stormer so far. I think the only thing that could really potentially stop him now is if it was to rain, but as you can see, the skies are absolutely clear. A lovely day out here in Barcelona. Circuit de Catalunya. Molson, he had a bit of a nightmare last week, didn't he? But he's having a stormer as well in this one. I don't think he's going to be challenging Brian anytime soon, but if he can hold on to that 2nd place, that'll be a great result. He'll be well happy with that one. And Palmer as well. Palmer's still in 3rd place. He's looking like he might be in contention for a podium. I thought Gabor was catching up to him, but it looks like maybe Tone's had a moment on them mediums. And he's lost some of that advantage. As there is definitely a few seconds gap now to Palmer. He's got a little bit of his work to do to, if he wants to take that 3rd podium slot. But he's also going to have to worry about Wayne G, because Wayne G is starting to catch up to him, and he's on a lot younger, harder compound of tyre, but he might be able to use the grip advantage. He's definitely going to have a grip advantage over Toten on them very heavily worn mediums. So Wayne G, he's trying to chase him down, isn't he? Trying to chase Toten down in 5th place. Dan Bailey not far behind him though, in 6th. Dan Bailey, looking like Dan Bailey's going to run them softs to the end of this race. 47 minutes in, so 3 minutes to go. Lap 32. Another great race here this evening from Dan. Started off towards the back, didn't he? And he's managed to make his way up to 6th, so I think he'll be well happy with that. And Palmer as well. Palmer was dead last, wasn't he, at one point? I think end of lap 1. But he's managed to make his way all the way up to 3rd place. A Pickle looking like he's going to take them hards to the end of this race. So Pickle only doing a 1 stop. He's managed to keep that 7th position. He was up there in the top 5, wasn't he, at one point though? Vext still currently 8th. He was trying to chase Pickle down, but as he has a moment there. He's got Mawson behind him now as well. Mawson coming up to lap him. So Mawson definitely having a better race this week. Smoky Tom 9th. Smoky maybe not quite finding his rhythm this week. He's been quite fast, hasn't he, around so many other tracks, but just looking like he wasn't getting into it as well tonight. In fact, Graham as well. Graham, another one, obviously having to retire the car due to mechanical difficulties. Asbo currently 10th. In fact, I think I saw Asbo when checking the pits that he forgot to fuel up and had to dive into the pits a second time to fuel up. So that's an unlucky race there from Asbo. He's doing really well at the start of the race, up to 6th place I think at one point, and sometimes it happens though, doesn't it? Smurf currently 11th. Sometimes it happens in the heat of the moment, you just hitting buttons and either forget to change compound or maybe don't refuel. So this is going to be the final lap. Brian Moncani, he's going to take first place. Dominating from the start to the finish. There he is, going to take the checkered flag. Great driving there from Brian, first place. Mawson having a bit of a moment there for that last turn. He's nearly made it though, isn't he, to the checkered flag. I think he's definitely going to take home second place. So that's a great result there from Mawson. He'll be grinning from ear to ear. Well done, Mawson. Palmer, he's going to bring it home in third place, but we have got a battle forming here between Toten and Wayne G. We're going to have to stay on board with this one. So Palmer, he is definitely going to bring home third place. Wayne G all over the back of Palmer, all over the back of Toten now. Toten is trying to stay defensive, but he's used up so much of them tyres. Surely Wayne G's going to manage to get the move done. Oh, as Toten goes a bit deep, I think that's going to be it. Wayne G managing to get through there, no contact. Wayne G in the final moments managing to take that 4th place away from Toten. Is Toten going to come back? He's trying, isn't he? But Wayne G just having the grip advantage in the final stage of this race. That was a great move there at the end there from Wayne G. Little mistake from Toten. Toten finishing 5th place. Danny Bailey, he's going to be home in 6th. Some nice points there. Pickle 7th. Vex finishing in 8th. Smoky Tom was 9th. Asbo 10th. And Smurf finishing up in 11th. Well, that was round 5, guys, and I will see you for the next one. I've been your boy Vexed. Good night.